Hello, folks. Clayholio here. I'm trying to get. I know this is super exciting, but I said 9:30. I'm a couple minutes late. I'm trying to get this one of the infinite number of screens to work. What are you doing, buddy? Well, hello, folks. Clayholio here. I'm trying to get. I'm here. I'm here. Anyways, so I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb and get everything set up. So time for another live drawing session here. Got my array of screens. So yeah. So I'm doing the Draw Die Club Promptober thing, Inktober thing. Yeah. So far, what is today? The 8th. I'm 7 for 7, so that ain't bad. Yeah, I'll take it, right? That's okay. Again, I'm just trying to get my stuff going. There we go. Are we doing it? Okay. Hi, Dynamic Tempo. I'm back to doodle some. I am gonna. So we'll pull up the prompt. I haven't looked at the prompt yet today. Spiders everywhere. Okay. Well, I will show you the last couple of these ones I did yesterday. As you can see right here is the evil plushies. That's that one right there. Super evil. Oh, cool, man. You've been working on your trailer? Good. That's definitely an area that I need to work on a little bit more, is the promotional. I guess that's what this is, though, right? Okay. So we got evil plushies, and then the other one was Sunday Spookies, so I went with the Seduction of the Innocents reference. You may or may not know what that's about, but anyways, it's an old comic book cover. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's based on an old horror comic that, how would you put it? They got in trouble. Back in the 1950s, there were American congressional hearings about how comic books were an evil influence, and they may or may not have been. But definitely the hypodermic needle to the eye is a... that's an attention getter. Spiders everywhere. Jesus. I do not want to draw a ton of spiders. Man. But I guess that's why we have the prompts, right? Soft lead. So, this is the doodle phase, right? The layout phase. Man, I am stumped on this one. Been a long day at the office. They do these at night when I'm winding down, so, yeah. Well, might as well go with the... go with something here. I don't know. A funny story. I don't know if it's funny or not, but years ago I did get to go to Comic-Con in San Diego. The big boy for this sort of thing, this sort of art. And one of the things that's the most fun to see is they have a panel called the Quick Draw panel, or at least they have had. And it's basically an excuse to watch like Sergio Aragonés draw live. And I mean, he's lightning quick, but one of the things that was really funny you know, that I had heard, and I got to see it firsthand, was he starts drawing without even knowing what the gag is half the time. He just his hands start moving, and he's like, I don't know, we'll get there. We'll figure it out. So, that's how he does it. That's why he's a legend, right? Okay, let's see here. No, it's just a dude with long hair. It's not a load. Shoot. You know, the problem is with these is I don't really want to have to get into doing reference. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine if it's something off the top of my head, but when you start getting the actual, you know, the actual, come on, get this, teeth curve. When you start getting more into an honest to goodness workflow kind of situation, you know, it takes a little spontaneity out of it, but whatever, right? The whole point is to make a good drawing. If it requires a little extra legwork, well, that's life, right? So I'm gonna, I have an idea. New layer. Okay. Like I said, I have sort of a standardized, you know, process. I've got a digital approximation of it. You know, these things will evolve, I'm sure, over time. Come on. So one of the fun things about cartooning, you know, is like it's actually the best when you are suggesting and not like literally having to explain everything fully each time. You know, like, you know, you got the gag right if, you know, the image suggests things that aren't there, like suggests more. Yeah, I think that works as a statement, right? So we're doing kind of a random adventure strip face. That. Get a little Adam's apple in there. And so when this one is done, hopefully it will live up to that challenge, you know, of suggesting rather than explaining everything. I've never done a trailer for a comic before. Do you find that pretty useful, you know, for like, what do you get out of, you know, like, does it help you sort of organize your ideas, or strictly a promotional thing? You know, I don't know. Does this dude need hair like that? I think maybe he doesn't. Not feeling the hair. So we're just gonna, he's bald now. My man's is bald. But the important part is that there's gonna be little spiders, you know, crawling up his stuff. And I think that ought to be a horrific enough image where, you know, it'll fit the Inktober, the spooky season, just fine. Give him a couple earrings. How about that? So this is going to make more sense as the image rounds into shape. Okay, cool. Where are we at? There we go. And this one is going to be the ink layer. So we go monochrome. Knock that stuff down a little bit. Knock that down more. I'm going to be able to see the inks. Nope, come back. Let's look at the rusty nib brushes. You know, the thing is, you buy these brush packs, and I love it. This is a True Grit Texture Supply. As I have mentioned before, all my stuff is either from True Grit or Retro Supply. And the nice thing with Clip Studio as a program is that it just takes Photoshop brushes. No messing around necessary. You just sort of just works. Come on, what do we got here? Ooh, Blue Note Bleeder. Oh, that's a chunky one. See how it looks at a smaller size. How are you doing? This will be fine. Because it's all going to be black. It'll be fine. So let's... Alright. Now this is a brush I haven't used. I think I was trying to make a point. Maybe got distracted off of the, you you buy these brush packs, and then you've got like this one is something like 100. Hey, what's up? Like I said, you get like 100 brushes, but then you have to wade through all of that and figure out if any of it works for you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So alright. Oop, that looks gross. That's okay. So, and if you don't know about Blue Note, it is a reasonably famous jazz label. You know, from what I've seen, their album covers had a distinctive style. You know, so this one says the Blue Note Bleeder. So, like if you look at this, trying to see if it shows up. There we go. Yeah, you can sort of see how the line is not, it's not a super smooth line. There's some decay to it. You know, which for, you know, for the time right now, this is exactly what we want. I feel like working digitally, it's a constant battle not to have it come across as sterile. You know, sort of like, it's very easy to make, well, easy. It's all relative, right? But it's relatively easy to make very clean, you know, clean images. And come on, buddy. But like, you want some, you know, go with the maestro Bob Ross. You need some happy little accidents. You know, it is, you know, good. It's a little lumpy, but I can live with it. You know, like, to me, I don't know. Like I said, I don't pretend to speak for everyone. Oh, cool. Right on, man. Good luck getting the work done. Um, yeah, I had a train of thought. That's okay. Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh, about digital art sort of encourages like a sterility, in my view. You know, I'm not saying that's the final word because it surely isn't. But it's really easy to go back and redo lines over and over again until they look how you want them. You know, how you want them to look. Whereas drawing in a traditional manner, you just sort of, especially with ink, yes, you can fix it, but it's better just to get it right. You know, and many years ago when I was a young cartoonist learning things, I saw a tip that helped me quite a bit. John Byrne, who was a super popular artist in a bygone era, he drew X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. He drew, oh, he had the second big run of Wolverine back in the 80s. He's well known for that era. But he finally did some creator-owned stuff in the early 90s for Dark Horse. And in the letter column, another bygone, you know, thing. Nobody has letter columns anymore. I don't think. But his point was that he sort of felt like drawing, like sketching directly in ink, was the quickest way to improve your artwork. You know, because it's unforgiving. Like, either you get it right or, you know, or you throw it away. Hate to put it that way, but I mean, if you know, if you botch it, paper can be cheap. It isn't always, you know. But you just sort of like, you know, things that you would consider an error digitally. When you're drawing and with traditional media, you sort of just have to learn to work with it. You know, if that makes sense. I'm not digging that, but everything's going to be black except the face. So, there we go. Let's get that. Get a little bit of that in there. Yep. Okay. So at this point, we're just sort of getting the next stuff done. But oh, my point was, drawing traditionally, John Byrne felt like, or a tip that he had received at some point that he agreed with, was that drawing directly into ink in your sketchbook was going to give you the fastest path to improving your work. You know, and whether or not that's the case, who the heck knows, right? But I do enjoy sketching directly in ink in my sketchbook. So, there we go. Yeah, that'll work. Close enough. And yes, these are gnarly little spiders. Again, I don't really feel like, you know, having to research and get everything just right. It's not the point of this, I don't believe. I'll give that a save. No, I'm overworking at this point. You just, you have to learn just when to say, you know, I'm just creating problems now. So, that's the goal here. So you get to just stop, you know, stop being finicky. It's okay for things to be done, just at some point. Why am I doing this? The issue here right now is that I am not trusting the simplicity of it. Even though this is exactly what I've been wanting to do as I'm drawing, I'm still trying too hard to, you know, put in the work that it does not need. Whatever. So, boom. See? There it is. Oh yeah, that's the doodle. One of the things I enjoy doing kind of perversely in terms of layouts is I like not using the whole piece of paper. You know? To me, it's a frame, right? The piece of paper is a frame. You're not obligated to fill every square inch of it up. And to my mind, nor should you. And if you don't want to, I mean, you know, there are artists that do a great job, you know, the more crowded it is. And for me, simplicity works better. Okay. Yeah, this is not going to take that long, I don't feel. New layer. So I'm just doing like a real fast color thing here. Because I just, you know. With Clip Studio, again, that's the program I draw with, is Clip Studio. You should go to their asset thing and just start downloading every color palette you can find. I mean, they're not all going to be useful, right? Some of them are just going to be straight trash. It's the nature of the beast, right? I'm not mad about it or anything. But okay. The one on his neck. Okay. I see what you're saying. I'll give it a couple more legs. Yeah, I know exactly what... Oh, no, come on. I know exactly what one you're talking about there. Yeah. Good call, man. Good call. Oh, what am I doing here? I would want... Okay. Oh, no, I want to duplicate the layer. Because you kind of need the lines as a color hold. You know, if that makes sense. So what I'm doing here is just popping his teeth and his eyeballs. Yeah, that is not a tattoo you want. Although, man, you know, if a guy managed to get into Playboy, then good for him, right? Okay, so now key with this stuff is you kind of have to adjust the layers a bit. I'm gonna knock that down just a bit so it's not quite as... oh, that's working better. That's working better. Did I make that color or not? Okay, so we'll come back here. That's 50%, but I needed 100 for now. We're gonna just hit... oh, come on. Why are there no good browns in there? So this one I use cherry wood. Cherry wood tones has a lot of good brown, you know. And I'm just really just trying to give his eyeballs so he's, you know, or the actual like iris, some color. Again, super straightforward, not being fussy at all. Get that back down to 50. Okay. Whoop. Lost my centering. Yeah, so there we go. Like, he's starting to get, you know, get some spiders all over him. Yeah, I mean, that's really what I wanted. It's real straightforward. It's real simple. Maybe, as I've been saying, a real key here is to not want to overdo it, you know? Oh wait, come back. Skin tones, and he was down here. So what we're gonna do on this layer is just do a real quick halftone, shading with halftone real fast. Again, not fussy, not building it up. The point is just supposed to be real straightforward. Okay, who am I looking for here? Beat tones, there we go, grainy 50. Let's see how that works. Digging it, that'll work. That brush is way too big, however. Let's just get that, see how, do I like that? I think I need a fatter brush. There we go, let's go to 72. Okay, so we are gonna, gosh, like that. Yeah, again, for me, the whole point of this is not to over render, you know. I'm classifying myself as a cartoonist. I'm from that Alex Toth school, where you simplify it and get what's there right, if at all possible. Obviously, I'm not as skilled as he was, but I'm also less of a grump than he was. So, that's life, right? Get that. Witty novelette's good though, man. You especially when you're on your first draft, don't worry about how it's coming out. You just need to get stuff on paper, because the real work comes in the editing phase. Like, for real, whenever you're writing, especially larger projects. Yeah, I mean, like, you need something to work with in terms of editing. And so you just kind of gotta just get them out and work with what you got. Don't worry about, you know, don't worry about trying to steer the ship. Just get something on paper and you can work from there. Again, I'm getting fussy here. This is, yeah, I think that's it, man. I think we're good. I think that looks all right. Oh no, cancel. We get up here. Not that this stuff matters tremendously, but there it is, man. The finishing touch. What are we looking at today? Okay. That's not the worst. I can live with that. Save that. And at this point, basically, you know, I work, you know, for this stuff, I do like a 4x6, a 4x6 canvas, 600 DPI. So then, like, I make a JPEG afterwards. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, like I said, the editing's where the real work is. So that's when you'll see what you got and see what, you know. I always think the editing process is fun because I don't always know what I'm writing about. You know, you just sort of get it on paper, and then after you've got your first draft done, you can go through and sort of, you know, see what was on your mind. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. So again, I'm doing this so that I can have files. Get that JPEG in there, and then I'll make an even smaller version. You know, for posting on the web. This stuff isn't super exciting. It is what it is. Did I already do that? Yeah, maybe I drew it at 300. Shoot. Anyways, standard for me, you do... Okay. Yeah, my experience with writing is I tend not to do much. I mean, I'll take notes, right? And then when I've got enough notes, and I'll start trying to string stuff together and have it make sense then. But I tend not to, like, overthink it. Like, I lean on the editing phase a lot more, you know, rather than pre-planning anything. Again, my method, not, you know, for what it's worth. Oh, yeah, I think, I'll save as. Let's get the will in there. Yes, I don't mind. So, yeah. Close that. So again, I closed it. The prompt, you know, to recap was spiders everywhere. So he's kind of getting, you know. I know I'm trying to decide. This is terrible. Yeah, you can see all my folders. All the crap I bought. Grainy overlay textures. So we're looking. Dense open. Ever gonna. Did it go somewhere? There we go. Layer color. Oof. What we want is white. Just so it's a little. Oh, that looks like snow. Maybe this is not the right idea. Ooh. Oh, there we go. So basically, I'm just trying to get it so it looks less, just, you know. So the idea is that there's some Are you doing the well? It's still October, right? So it's not the National Novel Writing Month. Um, yeah, yeah. That British spelling's not quite the same. There's a surplus of U's, so it does, you know. But if it's constantly like chirping at you to, you know, pay attention to stuff that's just getting in the way of your productivity, like I don't know, man. I guess everything's a trade-off. You just have to. If what you're getting out of it is better, you know, than the hassles, then you know, stick with it. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Now the problem with that is, of course, is that I'd already reduced down everything, so the only finished version's the tiny version. You're doing your project, yeah, that makes sense. I have done the National Novel Writing Month thing. I've succeeded twice. Didn't publish either of them, but did do it. I mean, it's fun to just sort of crank out something. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I have okay. When I my sister lives abroad. When I go visit her, you know, of course, I buy books over there, and it takes, you know, maybe a chapter to get used to the British spellings of everything, but it doesn't take long to, you know, to get into it. It just sort of, you take note of it when you start reading, and you know, but it just, you know, it doesn't get in the way of anything. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's better. That is a big project. That's a big project. Yeah, replace it. So, anyways, I'm gonna have to go back and fix the larger ones. So the small one's gonna be the only one that looks exactly like that, but whatever. That's fine. So you're on the first volume right now, then? Fantasy books don't tend to be brief, in my experience. Although, I guess The Hobbit counts, and that's a fairly quick read. But the Lord of the Rings ones aren't. Yeah, just fantasy books, like, you want an epic. Like, you want to, you know, that's the whole point of the form, really. Liquid Death, Rust and Peach. Seasonally appropriate. I'm just staring at it. Like, this is always the end of the drawing process, is like, you take a hard look at it and just like, is there anything else it needs, or am I just like, you know, messing it up for no good reason? Oh man. Well, with that explanation, like, yeah, I think doing like outlines and preparatory work of something that large is absolutely necessary. My the book that I, you know, like I said, is a national novel writing one, and it, I think it was just shy of 300 pages. Mine was, and that felt like about as much as I could contain, you know, without having to like really put down a roadmap first. Yeah, I'm gonna call this one done. So, okay, cool. So again, spiders everywhere. I'll show the last couple ones I've done too, just to sort of recap. Sunday was Sunday. Or no, we'll do Evil Plushies. That was yesterday. That's what that looks like. And then we got Sunday Spookies, which is a throwback to old horror comics. You know, you'll injury to eye motif, as it was put. Yeah. Yep, that'll work. So I guess, you know, we're wrapping up. But, you know, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. In terms of online stuff, I use Instagram the most. Clayholio there as well. I'm using Substack for sort of blogging, you know, like a little longer form stuff than a post. Same name, Clayholio. There's other stuff, but that's the two biggies. I spend my time on Instagram and Substack to a lesser extent. Yeah, alrighty. Well, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for hanging. Appreciate it.